KUTV. I'm just going to wait for a couple more people to pop in here. As we get started, I'm going to show you where I am today. I'm out at Sand Hollow State Park. If you haven't been here, it is a beautiful state park, and it is an amazing respite from the heat. If you're out in southern Utah and you're worried about finding a place to cool off, Sand Hollow is the place to be. It's gorgeous. There's jumping rocks, there's beaches, there's a drive-on beach over here. You can load boats into the water, jet ski. So really a amazing state park. It's one of the busiest state parks in the state, and I've been following over the past couple of days a conversation happening online about the cleanliness of this state park. People are talking about there being a lot of trash here at Sand Hollow. I've spent the day here looking around, and there is quite a bit of trash that you'll find along the beaches, in the brush over here. I just saw some a few minutes ago. And people are concerned about visitors, the amount of visitors coming in, and how this park is being maintained. My main question is, are there dedicated people whose job it is to come around the park and clean up trash? The short answer is kind of. So there are maintenance crews on staff here at Sand Hollow, but it's not really in their job description to be picking up trash. They more so focus on larger maintenance projects, operating heavy machinery. And when it comes to the task of actually picking up trash around the beach, they really rely on volunteers. So there's a program here, a camp host program, where you can live and camp in the park for free in exchange for 25 hours a week of volunteer cleanup. That's both the bathrooms and trash and litter pickup around the beach. In addition to those volunteers, other park staff do have some dedicated time in their schedules where they are meant to be picking up trash. However, there's not a specific full-time maintenance crew operating at the beaches to clean up the trash. I'm going to give you a little bit of a view of some of the stuff you'll see. So, obviously not a huge deal, but you see little napkins and trash. I've seen cups, I've seen bags of chips. I was seeing some of the crew members working around here earlier today. They were pulling out shoes and hats and different pieces of trash from the rocks. The park official told me that over the weekend, someone left a full-size trampoline on the beach. She said they have found sofas on the beach. People come, they hang out for a full day. They bring a lot of stuff with them to make themselves comfortable, and then they just leave it. And then it becomes a responsibility of the park to clean it up, and they don't necessarily have the resources for that. My question then from there is, what are we paying for with our park fees, and whether that's your drive-in fee or your state park pass, where do those funds go? What happens is all of those funds from all of the state parks go into one pot, and essentially the state legislature decides where those funds go. So some of that comes back into Sand Hollow, some of it goes out to other state parks, and park officials here don't really have a say in where that goes. I asked her if it would benefit the park to have more full-time workers here who are working on the trash problem, and she said, yes, of course, that would be beneficial, but it's a big ask, and it's something that here at the park they don't have much say on. So people around here have certainly noticed the uptick in trash. Another park worker told me that they really know that this is not a local problem, that this often comes from visitors who are coming in, bringing a lot of stuff with them and leaving it behind. Here's another piece of trash here, Coke can there. I've seen a lot of stuff around today, but like I said, there were some park workers out here earlier picking stuff up, but they're part-time workers. It's not really their job description to be cleaning up trash. The rules at the state park are you want to pack in and pack out. They ask people to take everything out with them that they bring in, and that's their responsibility if you're recreating on a state park. You can receive a citation for littering. It can range from a few hundred to a few $1,000s. There are difficulties, however, in enforcing that because, the Department of Natural Resources does have a law enforcement arm, and they can issue those citations, but oftentimes trash and littering isn't discovered until that group has already left, and it's hard to issue a citation to someone if you don't see them actually doing the littering. Here's another piece here. You can see just trash, just walking along the beach here, you can find stuff. So it really becomes a responsibility of the visitors to take care of their state parks. They tell me that when it comes to holiday weekends, that's when they see an uptick in littering. And we do have a holiday weekend coming up with Pioneer Day. So they expect to have a lot of visitors in the park here. And she told me, one of the park officials here, that they often try to schedule volunteer groups to come in on the Mondays and Tuesdays following long weekends because they anticipate so much trash being left behind. And so they prepare for that, and they really do rely on volunteers to keep the park clean. It's unfortunate that that has to be the case, but really it becomes a responsibility of all the visitors to try to keep it clean. Like I said, Sand Hollow is a beautiful state park. It's the busiest state park in Utah. They're seeing around 1 million visitors a year. I think last year it was 1.3 or 1.4 million visitors. So a lot of people coming in here, a lot of people recreating here. But with a lot of people comes a lot of trash, and it's hard to keep up with it. But it really comes down to the visitors being responsible. And then a lot of local volunteers have helped out here, and they continue to help out. I know that there's going to be a highway cleanup just outside of Sand Hollow in August. So, just something to pay attention to. These are state parks. They're accessible to everyone. There are fees. It'd be great if those fees were going towards helping to keep the park clean, which they are. Some of them are. But again, really your responsibility. Pack in, pack out. And Sand Hollow is here if you want to enjoy it over the holiday weekend.